welcome. How is everyone tonight? With me, part of the course is the one, the only, the metal.
Howdy.
So let me share this out there. Okay, turn me down, mother. And then we will get on to our drawing tonight. Well, I'm not sure whether you know Metal, but the actor, not the voice, of Darth Vader died today.
Oh, I didn't hear that. That guy got screwed over a lot.
Yeah. But in sort of honor, for lack of a better way of saying it, of him dying, I'm going to draw Darth Vader tonight. So, I'm not sure what to say besides that. Okay, so I guess I need to move my keyboard out of the way now. Are you still there, Metal?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, you probably got your thing. It's just didn't say anything, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I was muting myself, so you don't have to hear the whirring from my computer's fan the entire time.
Yeah.
Just trying to be polite.
Oh, that's always nice.
Right.
To be a polite, though. Pip, jitty, Joe.
I'm sitting here preparing even more assets. Assuming I'm not going to need them, because I'm hoping you guys are just going to go straight to the fire swamps next time. But if not, I'm going to have other things prepared.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, Dillard was going choo-choo a lot, which I think was him implying that I was railroading the campaign. Even though I never told him what you guys had to do, I just kept telling him what you couldn't do. It's a big difference. If anything, you call me a buzzkill, not railroading.
Hey, you warned me, and I suddenly tried to warn the others.
Well, it wasn't even just that, too. It's like he was asking about going other places. I said they weren't ready yet. I gave you guys the ability to pick where you wanted to go ahead of time. Be like, hey, if there's anywhere on the map you plan on going in the next session, let me know so I can have it prepared. And then nobody did.
Yeah, see, the unfortunate part, I believe, is we never know what we're going to do till we do it. We don't think ahead too much.
Well, Flit does. Flit's always asking me questions.
Well, I guess I am too, but not about where we're going. I'm asking other questions. But I just mean more where we're going, the terrain and all that. Hey, Ulrich, how are you tonight? So, Ulrich, did you hear Darth Vader die? The actor, not the voice.
Not James Earl Jones.
Yeah. So,
Dave Prowse is his name.
Hi, everyone.
And there's a hearty hello from my mother.
Yeah. You remember which name you're talking about. It's David Prowse.
David Prowse?
Yeah. Well, you don't confuse people when they hop in. Jones.
And Ulrich says, yes, he heard the sad news about David. So in honor or light or however you want to say it, I am drawing Darth Vader tonight. So I guess if James Earl Jones ever died, I guess I'm drawing Vader again. If my channel's on a spot like that. So
What, man? You could just draw Mufasa.
yeah, true. Now Vader is only a voice. 50% gone is 50% is gone of Vader. Yeah, well, the sad thing is anybody can be under that mask.
Yeah. Even, what's his name? Hayden Christian can be under the mask as he was for, like, I think only a minute of film time, but he was under that suit for at least an hour while they were filming. They ended up, he's not even as tall as Prowse was, so they had to put him in, like, lifts and stuff to make him look big enough.
Which was for
Revenge of the Sith at the very end when Anakin became Vader.
oh, okay. I wasn't sure whether it was for that or for Rogue One.
I actually don't know what they did for Vader in that. I mean, they could have put any stuntman into the suit, or he could have been functionally digital for all I know. I never bothered to look into it.
Alric says, yep, episode 3 for about 3 minutes, and he says, the day James Earl Jones dies is the day Kathleen Kennedy runs for the hills. Okay, I don't know exactly.
I don't get why she'd be running for the hills either.
Maybe he thinks James Earl Jones would haunt her?
Why would a ghost haunt somebody who's already basically a ghost? Kathleen Kennedy's been haunting Lucasfilm since the day she got in charge.
Because of what she's doing to Lucasfilms? But maybe because one way or another, Kathleen Kennedy will be blamed. Yeah, blame for James Earl Jones dying.
No, I'm just going to blame Rick for James Earl Jones dying.
I say we blame Sheldon.
Yeah, it's you're going to meet him in person, you're going to shake his hand, and immediately he's going to die from a heart attack. It'll be completely unrelated to it being you. It's just going to be the timing.
Case of bad timing.
Yep.
Sort of like all those hundreds. Yeah, Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. James Earl Jones was in an episode of it. And he got along. Him and Sheldon hung out together.
He's going to be in that movie ever comes out, Coming to America 2. which they're just titling Coming to America with the number 2 in the middle.
Okay, that starred Eddie Murphy beforehand, if I remember right.
Yeah. James Earl Jones was the king of the country. Eddie Murphy was the prince. His dad is still alive. He's confirmed to be in the movie.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's
just
not
Eddie's
that...
character's king. Which, I don't get how that works. Unless it's a flashback. Because typically you only become king once the previous one dies.
Yeah, or they can step down.
He's confirmed to be in the movie.
Well, they can step down, like, unlike, like, that sometimes they die, sometimes they just step down. It's happened with British a lot of times.
Maybe they just do things different in Africa.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole point of the movie was that he was supposed to become king after he was married. So I guess the king just automatically steps down after his son gets married. That's a really weird tradition, but you see that in movies and fairy tales a lot.
Yeah, although you wouldn't think so, not so quick. Let's see. Elric said he started to read his first ever shadow novel today. Travis is in the chat and says both Hayden Christensen and a stuntman named Gene Bryant both were in the suit at the end of episode 3. Christensen was in the scene in the lab, and Brandt was in the Death Star scene.
Well, hopefully a lot taller than Hayden in the first place, because even for just the scene in the lab, they said they had to put him in lifts. He was talking about it. I didn't know about the Bryant thing, though. It's probably why he moved more smoothly on the Death Star.
And Eric says he thought he didn't was on both sets.
Not many people are tall enough for that suit, though. It's like somewhere like 6'4".
Yeah, and slim enough build too.
Yeah.
I know a couple people that are fairly tall. I'm probably close to that height, maybe taller. But the
thing is, most people who are that height are slim.
Well, the one that I know I think he's 6'3", maybe 6'6". I'm not sure, but he is big.
Most people I know that big are athletes.
Yeah. No, this guy is definitely not an athlete.
I do know some people that are that big that are, we call them the ogre build. Like Shrek.
Ulrich says Hayden wasn't tall enough for the suit to remember that. Travis says, nah, Bryant was in the Death Star scene uncredited due to needing Vader to be moving, and Christensen couldn't walk that far as smoothly due to the lifts. And Alex, that's right. Anakin Sidious made you taller.
It's more machine than man now. So I don't watch the show, but I know you do. What were your impressions on Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano?
I liked her as it. I didn't have too much to say. I've watched, what is it? Rebels that she's in? Or is it Clone Wars? Clone Wars.
She was in Clone Wars, yeah.
I've watched both.
Which is why I have to ask other people's opinions of it.
It's been a while. I think what most people they say she seemed to be a little too serious or whatever, especially at the beginning. Didn't seem to quite nail the role completely, you know. I liked her. But then again, they forget, like, what? 30 years has passed? 20, 30 years have passed since that time? Of the Clone Wars? So, you know, life's going to change her, and I'm sure, you know, the death of, you know, the kids and all that would have.
Well, yeah, being an outcast for that long will definitely make you a more serious person. Here's the thing that bothers me, and they're going to have to explain this, and I don't know how they're going to explain it too. Right?
Yeah.
Because this retroactively just turns Yoda into kind of a POS, right? You're telling me that this Grogu guy, right, the child, the baby Yoda, this Grogu guy was raised as a baby, and even older than that because he's like 50 years old, and this was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
In the Jedi Temple.
Well, partially. He was found, they don't say what age he was found, and then taken to the Jedi Temple and trained by several masters.
Right. I have this chain of thought first, right?
Sorry.
Let me finish it. It's not about that. It's about the point in which he was in the temple, right? By the timeline, he would have had to have been at the temple killing the younglings and during the whole Jedi slaughtering, which means he was also an outcast during that time.
Yeah.
Which end up leading to the events where they are now. Yoda, who is like the most Force-sensitive guy there is, and yes, I know the Sith was clouding some things, but he could tell when monstrosities were going on. He kind of knew when the slaughter was starting. He could feel it. You're telling me in his rare species that there's barely anybody in other than him, like another named Master Yaddle, and a few unnamed people in his species. We've only seen up to 5. The child makes like 6. Wouldn't have went out of his way to either get this child or have somebody else get it and get it to him to raise on Dagobah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Yoda's supposed to be in hiding on Dagobah. Nobody's supposed to know he's there. So, like, I think
Obi-Wan knew he was there, though.
Yeah.
He could have sent his old friend Obi-Wan to go get the kid.
Yeah, well, we don't know who. They say somebody took the kid right around the time of the killings. The Jedi Order 66, was it?
Yeah.
Somebody else grabbed, we don't know who, the kid at that point and took him. Therein lies a lot of things. So, Yoda.
I would say they're going to have a tough time explaining this.
It's to me. It's hard for all that killing. So, I'm not sure whether he would be able to tell.
They'll try to explain this.
One kid out of all those that one particular kid.
Oh no, he'd be able to tell. There's no way he wouldn't be able to tell. Right. So that's what I'm saying is they're going to have to try to explain this, and they have time. They're probably going to work it into the script and everything like that, right? I'm just saying if their explanation has to be good, or else it turns Yoda into a jerk.
And well, another thing too is what's her name's character? Roseanne's character. I forget the name.
No, Rosario Dawson's character, Ahsoka?
Yeah, Ahsoka. She said Yoda was only the only kind of his species she knows of.
Yeah, because there's very few of them.
Yeah, we don't
know. In fact,
know.
in Star Wars lore, they even kind of that Yoda species probably isn't even from the galaxy.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Let's see. What do we got here in the chat? Yeah. Sidious, so smart, he made Vader's suit to work against him, but didn't count that Vader would give of an F after he turned good again.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. I'm watching that thing Evan sent me.
Okay, so it was to you, not to me.
You're attacking it too.
Okay. Ulrich said, Sidious so smart he made Vader's suit to work against him, but didn't count that Vader would give after he turned good again, laugh out loud. Trevor says she's in Rebels as well as of season 3, I think. Ulrich says he refuses to call baby Yoda Grogu. So is the child. I'm not sure what that's about exactly. Those things are plot holes, Rick. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what he means.
Thank you, Evan. I love it.
Ulrich says, so this episode basically made Yoda look like a bad guy, but during Order 66, how did Anakin not find baby Yoda? Because during Order 66, they searched everywhere in the Jedi Temple. Oh, well, like I said, somebody got him out before, probably as it was happening, and from what I got from the episode, nobody even knew Grogu was there except for a select few.
Oh, Yoda would have definitely known he was there.
Yeah.
Well, this is also my problem too, right? His existence, period, is already a plot hole that's going to be hard enough to explain.
Yeah.
That they've been trying to do since the show started. It's like, this just really doesn't work. And this has been part of my problem with The Mandalorian and why people are like, why don't you like the show? It's so good. And the problem is, like, as a space western, it is good if you just ignore everything. But it's still bogged down by all the post-Lucas stuff that Star Wars has become. And as far as interacting with the lore, it is a horrible monstrosity.
Yeah. And Ulrich says, what, like the Yuzon Vong? I have no idea what that means either. Ulrich. You gotta be clear in your explanations, Ulrich. Or in your askings. Or in your talkings. Then, what was the Jedi Masters of the new baby Yoda? Then what Jedi Masters of the new Yoda of baby Grogu, despite the fact that most of the Masters of the Council were out fighting the war? Like I said, I'm not sure what you're quite trying to say there. Where were the...
Oh, wait, well, I can tell you which ones would have had to know him, because it said he was trained under several masters, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, which as a child is trained under several masters. And here's another reason why Yoda would have known of him. Yoda is the one who personally saw to the training of the younglings.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying Yoda...
They were, yeah.
I'm not saying Yoda wouldn't have known of him. That's not my point. It's just I don't think he would have been able to get to him in time, and I think he would have just thought he died, like with all the rest. And there's the thing: would have besides Obi-Wan, did anybody know that Yoda was still alive to try and get baby Grogu to him?
Well, that's why the fact that Obi-Wan lived is a part of the plot hole, though.
Yeah.
You know, Obi-Wan had a lot of adventures on his own after that.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to just... he was supposed to just go to thing and stay there and do whatever. Probably not much.
He didn't just stay in Tatooine.
Yeah, I guess for the first, 3 or 4 years, he didn't really have to be there steadily. Maybe not even for the first 5 or something like that. You get what I mean? Well, he's just a baby or a toddler. Probably wouldn't have had to stay too close. It's just as he grew up, that's when he would have to be closer. But
he was definitely supposed to stay there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he did.
Yeah. But then again, he had to have been around enough that Luke basically knew of who he was. Well, under a slightly different name. And again, that's showing that he's in hiding. Not that it's very too close, but you know what I mean. Metal said.
Well, here's the other problem, right? Because if you even remember when the war started, not the war, they were in war, but when the slaughter of the Jedi happened, right? Order 66.
Yeah.
Yoda felt it immediately, it wasn't just the intention. He felt there was a whinge of pain on his face because he was where the other Jedi were dying.
Yeah.
Sensitive Yoda is.
Yeah.
So you can even make the excuse, sure, during the initial moment, maybe he would be able to confuse it that everybody's dead. After a while, though, he'd be able to sense the life of somebody he knew. Even Vader, right, could sense when Obi-Wan was on the Death Star.
Yeah, but that's when he was near. He couldn't sense where Obi-Wan was.
Yeah. But I'm using it as an analogy to someone who sensed the death of people dying light years away.
Yeah. Yeah, but did he... He was just sensing Jedi dying to me, not, He may have... I doubt he knew many of them personally, so... And then, when you slaughter the whole, 50 or 60 or 100 younglings all at the same time.
But then I also bring back my point that Yoda's species is extremely rare. He's aware that one of his are in the temple, and the other member of that species is also extremely force sensitive, which means their connection to each other would be stronger.
Possibly. It's hard to say. I wouldn't say 100 definite that they would be that thing. And then the kids, what, at that point, 10, 15 at best? So we see.
Well, this is something I hate about this character in general.
Yeah.
Because there's no way any life form would have a prolonged infancy for 50 years.
Yeah. But then again, maybe the thing is we're seeing it as a baby and they've said it's a baby, so we're just assuming he is. Maybe he's not quite as much of a baby as we like to think.
He acts like a baby.
Yeah. But again, that could be just part of his disguise. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, I know. You're trying to be charitable. It's just... I've seen too much Disney Star Wars, and I was already trying to be charitable before I brought up these arguments. Yeah. The arguments that I have are after I tried being charitable to it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Metal said that Yoda isn't likely from the galaxy. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about the chosen race or whatever, which aren't really chosen. They're like their race even means that they're the children of some guy who's got the same name. Unions and Vong or something like that.
Ulrich says Obi-Wan was supposed to stay on Tatooine to watch over Luke. Yep, he felt when Mace died before Order 66. Yeah, but Mace was, I think, on the same planet too, wasn't he? At that point? I don't know.
No. No, because Yoda was already off-world. He was on the Wookiee homeworld when Mace died.
Okay. I forget that part.
And Mace died on, well, assuming that Mace died, he died on Coruscant. I still think they should have wrote it that he never died. That would have been the best ending. Would have made the whole sequel trilogy worth it. Just for it is at the very end, Rey should have basically been defeated, and then a freaking one-armed Mace Windu should have come flying down from the rafters and killed Palpatine.
Yeah. Rick says, having a concentration of the Force users in one place and suddenly have them dying in droves would definitely make Yoda sense it. Yeah, I'm not saying he wouldn't have sensed it. I'm just saying individuals, all the individuals there at the same time who would have known good and well and maybe not so well, I think would have drowned out the specificness of any one person, and then he would have just assumed all had died. These guys do make a lot of assumptions.
Well, I think you're being too charitable to Disney and not charitable enough to how Lucas had made Yoda.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about Disney at this point, because this is before Disney got a hold of it. It was still Lucas with Revenge of the Sith.
Well, yes, but all of these back-addled stuff with the child is completely Disney.
Yeah, true.
And that's my argument. I'm using Revenge of the Sith as the framing for why the child doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard me before, Evan, but I said I loved it. So
yeah.
Thank you. That was great.
And I haven't watched it yet. It's the thing about the vomitorium, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the problem with this or any other series. When you write something that influences the past that's already been quote unquote established, it messes it up.
Yeah, because you've got very little wiggle room to work with, and most people don't bother to try to squeeze into the wiggle room 100%.
Yeah. It's no different than, say, Star Trek when they do all that sort of stuff, just right now, even having, Discovery when they did it, when they did Enterprise, Unfortunately, a lot of them don't care. I will watch it. I'm just not going to watch it on stream because I have to listen to it through my earbuds. It'll play off my... Everybody will hear it. Then again, I guess I could just play it live if you want. Don't mind. Evan?
There's music in it.
Yeah, there's...
So I don't know how you feel about copyright stuff, so...
Sometimes I care, sometimes I don't. It's just the only damn thing I'm worried about now. Because of that one time getting a strike and not a claim. If it's a claim, oh well, freak it, who cares, it's like... I can deal with a claim, okay, they get the money to this video. Well, I doubt this one...
It's a strike, that's the problem.
Yeah. My other channel, I care, but I don't care. This one, I really care. Fuck, watch the video. Disney can't keep the line straight, even with lore they didn't throw out. It's Disney metal. Don't be charitable to them, laugh out loud. I don't think you want to do that. Travis says, remember that Senator Organa also knew where Yoda was and had such a successful network that he regularly smuggled people, supplies, and weapons to the rebel cells under the Empire's notice for decades.
Yeah, that is true. One of the three people involved in Yoda's outcasting in the first place was not just Obi-Wan, but it was Senator Organa who ended up adopting Leia.
Yeah. But again,
exile.
The big thing is who took the kid out of the temple. They haven't said that yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're going to have to explain it very well, and there's a 9 in 10 chance. Actually, might even be more than that. There's like a 95 in 100 chance that it's going to be a bad explanation.
Yeah. Buck watched the video from Evan. Alric says, for God's sake, they even messed up how lightsaber crystals work. Instead of just choosing the color you want, it depends on what force abilities you are or something like that. Well, that was something. I think that was half in some of the video games beforehand, Alric. I played, what was it? The Force Awakens, or Force Unleashed, the first one. And I think there was a bunch of that in that. And even maybe...
well, that's the problem, too, is because the way Lucas had designed it, the crystal itself is what decided the lightsaber's color, and nothing else. So sometimes actors were involved in that too. Like when it came to Mace Windu, Sam Jackson would not want the same color lightsaber as anyone else, so they had to bring in, against Lucas's original intention, purple lightsabers.
It's like, you took this job, buddy, you know. If you don't want the same color lightsaber as anyone else, goodbye. We'll get somebody else for the job.
No, you don't see. Jackson was, I mean, he's still a big name in movies, but at the time this was made, he was like the biggest name in movies.
Yeah, but he's a big name, and yeah, he might have been a fair bit decent of a draw. I won't deny that. But at the same time, you know, Star Wars is big enough that, you know, it could have survived without him being in it.
It wasn't about survival.
Well,
for the most part, as much as I like the prequels, they were definitely a cash grab, especially when you look at the people who were put into it at the time. They were basically picking people, aside from some of the newer people that were in it that hadn't been named yet, like Hayden himself and a few others. But everybody else in it were all named people. They were drafting them in to increase the budget and popularity of these movies.
Yeah. Well, that I can see. But I'm sure they could have got another big name black actor at the time. That wouldn't have been such a whiny.
It's very likely.
Because, you know, I'm sure lots of actors, you know, there's been some very big black actors, you know. That would have, you know, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, what's...
You know who should have been Mace Windu? Should have been LL Cool J. That would have been a much better choice.
Yeah. Yeah, but Senator Organa would have had time to get the baby Yoda from the temple as he stopped.
He wouldn't have time, yeah.
Or wouldn't have time to get the... He stopped and saw 2 of the clones blast, and that youngling was played by George Lucas' son.
Well, my argument has absolutely nothing to do with who grabbed him from the temple in the first place. It's how many years had passed, and nothing was ever done about this. That's the explanation they have to have. It's been 30 years.
Yeah. Hey, Reed. Even now, you owe me a minute and 4 seconds of my life back. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean, Travis. Yep, and I still...
Oh, it's from the video. That's how long the video is.
Oh. Yep, and I still have his episode 1 toy with the blue lightsaber. Like and retweet Buck. Michael Jackson should have played Mace Windu. Now that would have... Was he still alive when they started those, or had he died yet?
Oh, no, he's still alive. Jackson died recently, I think, right? It's 2009 when those movies were started.
Yeah, Michael Jackson died.
I guess that's not recently anymore, but it's still fairly recently.
Jackson died at least 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, but those movies are like 20 years old now. Well, at least the first one is.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what he died.
Phantom Menace came out in 1999.
Yeah, he died June 25th, 2099. Or 2009, 1 day after my birthday.
So episode 1 had been out for about 10 years after when Michael Jackson died.
Okay, yeah, I guess he could have. Although he would have been older at that point. An older Mace Windu.
I'm just saying, Star Wars would have been a lot cooler if LL Cool J had played Mace Windu.
Oh, yeah. He's in, what's the name of it? So, NCIS Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I like
he was
him.
also in Deep Blue Sea with Sam Jackson. They were both in that movie.
But, yeah, I like him as an actor. They need much bigger roles then. But if they got Michael Jackson, they need bigger robes or LL Cool J. I can't remember some of the big actors around that time.
Could have had Michael Clark Duncan play Mace Windu. That would have been great.
Yeah. Cara Dunes turns my robe into a teepee. Says the art of Reed.
That's Gina's character, right?
Possibly. Coming back from another glass of pop.
For a glass instead of just a swig.
But yeah, Duncan says, Travis. Well, forget the lightsaber. He'd be messing with Palpatine's face by beating him with his bare hands.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan was a really big guy.
Yeah. And by big, I don't mean physically big. I just mean, big as a name.
Yeah, no, that's not why I picked him. He was a big name during that time, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in movies from, like, Armageddon, Green Mile. He was in a lot of stuff. But he was also physically a big guy.
Yeah.
And yes, Deep Blue Sea was the one with the CGI shark that ate Samuel Jackson. With the smart sharks. And the funny thing is, that was one of those movies that both didn't subvert, but also subverted the black guy dies first trope. Samuel Jackson was a much bigger name than LL Cool J at that time. And you figured, okay, usually the black guy dies first in these type of horror movies. And Sam Jackson is like the biggest name, so he's probably going to live longer, and you're expecting LL Cool J to die first. Jackson's given like this monologue in front of the submersion pool that you would go down in the lift or whatever, and a shark just pops out and eats him. And then what do you know, LL Cool J makes it to the very end of the movie as one of the two people that survives.
What was that? Yeah. If they did, thing back in the 80s, say they did it first, I could see Mace Windu. Bill Cosby playing Mace Windu. Or Eddie Murphy. Would Eddie Murphy be good? These are comedians. Probably not.
Oh,
good.
God. Could you imagine putting comedians in that serious role? Ah. I like Eddie, too. I just, no. Rick, no. Where's Evan in the chat? Evan, give me a Rick no.
Anybody else gonna do a Rick no in the chat? I wonder. With that?
I mean, they can do it if they want. It won't have the potency if it's not Evan. Or no, there's a couple other people who could. Let's see. Bullet, but he's not around. I guess Eagle. I don't see him around either.
Chester goes Cosby. Chancellor, stand down. I'll beat the bitty bop zop out of you. Rick says Eddie Murphy as Mace. God, no, he is the worst to make other fake versions of himself real. Who was it from the Superman movie?
Richard Pryor?
Yeah. What about Richard Pryor?
Oh, I love Richard Pryor. He was such a great comedian. I don't think he belongs to Star Wars, but... I mean, you could probably find a side role for him. I don't think he'd be something like Mace Windu.
Jar Jar Binks.
Richard Pryor had voiced Jar Jar Binks. I think everybody would like that character more. Pretty sure he was dead before that movie came out, though. Nope, he was still alive. Okay, yeah, it was 2005 when he died.
Who was the guy from Rush Hour? Oh yeah, there's another good guy that we could.
Oh, Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be serious. That wouldn't be bad. He was also kind of comedic role, but he plays it straight. He's not like being goofy about it, like when he was in Fifth Element.
Danny Glover. Or the actor? Yeah, Danny Glover.
Yeah, see now Danny Glover would be fine. Yeah. That right there is a straight man actor to the bone. Denzel Washington is Mace Windu.
Oh yeah, that'd be good too. See, we're coming up with, actors that could have easily played. Yeah, some of them were obviously before the time, but Denzel Washington they could have easily probably got him to do Star Wars,
Getting too old for this Sith.
Morgan Freeman as Mace. Okay.
No, Morgan Freeman would be awful for Mace. I love Morgan Freeman. That would have been a bad choice.
Laugh Out Loud says, Elric, I think that's too, I'm too old for this. James Earl Jones plays Mace Windu.
No. Absolutely not.
It messed everybody up, that's for sure. What the heck is Darth Vader doing? Being Mace Windu. And everybody would be thinking that Mace Windu becomes Darth Vader. That's never seen the movies. It'd be a hilarious trick to play on people.
Well, people always ask me what order they should watch the movies in. And I tell them one of two answers. I ask them, do you know the big twist? Which most people do even if they haven't watched the movies, because, I'm your father has become such a meme. So if you know the big twist, watch them in chronological order because they only go uphill from there in quality. If you don't know the twist, watch them in release order so that it doesn't get spoiled for you.
Yeah. Well, there's two big plot twists, really, that you don't want to spoil. Luke, I'm your father. And, hey Leia, I'm your brother.
Yeah. Usually, if you know one, you know both, though. That's why I only ask for the one.
Well, I was watching a bunch of reaction to, and it's supposed to be people first time watching. A lot of them, they sort of knew about the look of your father, but I don't think they knew about the sister part. Some of them, did or whatever. And
Well, he never
Alex
says
says,
that. He just says, "No, I am your father."
yeah. I heard Metal say, no, absolutely not, from the other room. And then I just thought, okay, what do I did work out? What was it? Somebody is Darth.
Oh no, it was the James Earl Jones thing. Is that's what he was referring to? Because I'm right here, and he
Yeah.
can hear what I'm saying sometimes, but there's still the delay until he has to hear what you said.
Yeah. Ulrich said, that's simple. Episodes 1 to 6. Ulrich says, no, Luke, I am your father. And also, I built C-3PO. As a child, I built C-3PO.
That's that robot chicken. He's like, that's improbable, and then it just keeps getting different, and then it shows him like smoking pot on the bridge, and he's like, and midichlorians are little microbes that go through your bloodstream and blah blah blah. He's like, you know what? If you're not going to take this seriously, I'm just going to leave. That's the biggest twist. When are the kids ever going to find out that their mother was a degenerate cougar?
Oh, she was only, 10 years older than him?
Cougar.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have cougars in Star Wars. Your mother was a hamster and your father smells of herbal berries, elderberries. Says Elric.
As Monty Python in the Holy Grail. Now go away before I taunt you a second time. Speaking of the person who said that, John Cleese has been getting in fights with SJWs lately, and it's been great. That dude is still funny.
Elric says cougars in real life are going extinct in about 12 to 25 years, no joke. Or so they say. Hey, remember.
Well, if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to cut that time in half.
Hey, just remember, the world's supposed to end in 12 years, Elric, according to some people, or 10 or whatever.
Yeah, but like, cougars going extinct would be a net gain for people. Because the only positive thing they do for the ecosystem is eat things that we hunt anyway. If we were still having a hunting culture, in some areas they do, they eat our pets and children. So I think it's fine if cougars go extinct. I have no sympathy for them.
You heard it here first. Metal is anti-cougar.
Yeah.
He's cougarless. or something to that effect.
It's like, this is attitude I don't understand. It's like, no, we got to be nice to the mountain lion. Release it back in the wild. Don't kill it. Man, in like any other society, let's say you go to Africa where they have lions and stuff attacking people, right? You kill a lion, the people who live in smaller villages where the children run around and play would cheer you on for killing that lion. Worry about their children being eaten while they're out playing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you live in an area with mountain lions, you actually do still have that problem, despite the way society is. Your children could still be eaten while out playing from a mountain lion.
Yeah. Because the mountain lion doesn't care how your society is. It just wants some num-nums. And to it, your child is a num-num. It's small enough that it can prey upon. Heck,
We used to have this problem with most dogs, too. And then we domesticated dogs and started running the ones that refused to go into domestication almost extinct. These are endangered. Well, that's their fault. They chose not to get a free meal.
Yeah, and then we created the ones that, in the wild, they'd be gone in half a second.
Yeah.
Chihuahua
If they weren't going to be gone in half a second, you'd be worried about them eating your child in your own home.
Oh, no, I would be... Yeah, I'm talking like a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Could you see that coming up to like a wolf or something like that? Or a Great Dane in the wild?
If it's the same sex, it will probably be killed immediately. If it's breeding season and they're opposite sex, dogs actually aren't very picky.
True.
And they are still the same species, so...
Yeah, I guess they might have that, but... Elric says, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely where Elric lives. There's mountain lions in California. Especially in, like, the mid and SoCal areas.
Oh, I'm sure there's some around. Actually, I don't think there's... I don't know whether there's any around this area or not. Maybe a little bit further north. I don't think there's enough wilderness around here for them to survive.
Yeah, they need nice food. Like good amounts of food to sustain their diet. Anywhere where there's like large mammals they can feed off of. If you live on the border of the wilderness, you usually find them around because they like to eat babies.
Hey, John.
I don't eat babies. What are you drawing? That looks like Darth Vader.
It is.
That's what he's drawing.
Because the actor who played Vader died today.
What? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about what's his name, James Earl Jones.
No, Dave Prowse.
Yeah, nobody knows who that is.
Oh, that's what I did say.
That's why I kept telling him to refer to him as Dave Prowse, because people are going to think you're talking about James Earl Jones.
So what's new?
No, we're just talking about how, like, I wouldn't care if mountain lions went extinct.
Mm-hmm. Or sharks or gators.
Yeah.
Or bears.
Yeah, screw anything that eats people.
Or tweakers.
Okay, Elric saying yesterday he died. Rest in peace, says Mallet. And he also says hello to you, Dillard. That is.
Hey, what up?
Elric says hi.
Hi, Elric. So I was over on Chester's show a little while ago. There's all kinds of comic news going on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't even know. All kinds of drama. What's this? I gotta get out of here. I hate Discord.
And Mallet says hi now, too.
Hello, Mallet. Let's see here. I gotta look up your stream. Ross Comics.
Oh, wow. Charlie the Unicorn's 15 years old.
Ooh!
The video, Charlie the Unicorn?
Never heard of it.
Oh, that's internet classic.
Mallet says no drama
What's
in
up?
CNC land.
Why would there be? You've got tools. If there was any drama, you guys would just kill each other before the drama could build up. Everybody plays it safe.
Well, you know where there is drama? That wood lathes. Those channels beef with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And now that Mallet has dipped his toe into streaming wood lathing, I don't know.
Oh, he's opened the door.
One of those machines, but I couldn't actually justify the purchase. Because then, in order to do even like something like a table leg, visible machine.
Yeah.
Like most of the ones that are like entry level, you can't do anything with except maybe make like 2-part balusters or something very small. Because the length that you would require for table legs, good lord. You would need a huge lathe.
I don't own a lathe, but I have a family friend nearby with access to a 6-foot lathe if I ever needed one.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's like a $4,000 machine. Alice says, I can do legs. I don't believe you. Prove it. And honestly, I don't like the... I'm sorry, what happened?
I was just going to see he has a leg up on the competition, apparently.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Why you do that to me, Rick?
Do what?
You derail the conversation with a pun.
Are you saying I don't give you a leg to stand on?
That doesn't even fit. Oh.
Does it ever?
Heavens to Betsy. Elric says, noticed how you can hear Dillard's soul die a little. Oh. It's alright. Shake it out. So I got a whole bunch of spare wood. They're all 1x3s.
Yeah.
Because we had this piece of furniture, right? This IKEA bed and trundle combo. It's like a bed you could sleep on, Rick. Like normally where there would be like cabinets and stuff. There's another bed that slides out from under this bed, like a Russian nesting doll, you know? So both of these beds have all these slats. One has about 40 underneath it. No, not 40. Maybe like 20, 25, 26 slats. So I got a total of like 50 of these 1x3 slats that are really good condition. And nobody actually slept on this bed. It was in the nursery.
Yeah.
And it was just essentially a day bed in case you wanted to sit down or lay down while the baby was sleeping or whatever. So nobody ever used it. So it's basically brand new. Everything else is all particle board, so I just broke it and tore it all apart and threw it outside. 50 pieces of these, and they're about, let's see, maybe 30 inches long. Well, they're about 34 inches, but I got to shave off 2 ends because they have holes for screw holes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I got about 50 pieces of these little perfectly it doesn't even look like they're sanded. It looks like they were what do you call it? You know when you get that nice sheen on there when you plane a piece of wood?
Yeah.
They look really good. They look planed, So I want to know what I could do with that. What can I do with 50 pieces of 1x3? About 3 feet long.
Build a small house? Or a small structure? Yeah.
And plus, you don't want to build a small structure out of 1x3s. Too weak.
I'd probably just whittle them.
Whittle them? I do have a bushcrafting knife that I haven't used.
Wait, you could create the small structure, just make it structurally sound enough, like a playhouse for your kid?
No.
No, I need much more lumber than that. I'm thinking it would be good for maybe when you have those outside barbecue cabinets where you can put your stuff, your spices and everything, and you hang it outside.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
Leave it real airy so you don't have to close it or make anything a really tight fit. It can be kind of loosely cobbled together. Is this the infamous no pose from Vader?
Don't think so.
Where he has those little... Where he breaks off of the operating table. He's like, no, she was alive. I felt her.
No, not that one.
Well, what is this? I don't understand. Is he dancing?
No. No, should be. Okay, the screen's going to go blank for a second or two. I'm going to bring picture and image.
Is Rick talking to me?
Well,
I think
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh.
I just talk to myself, the chat, letting everybody know that nothing's going wrong with the chat. I'm just simply...
Oh, because the screen went black. Rick, that is not the pose you're drawing.
Well, I know it's not precisely, and I always mess up the pose that I'm drawing.
Ulrich says the French version.
Oh, I might have started with a different one. Let's see. Oh, I think I know which one I started with. No. I started with that one. Oh. So just that.
Why is the aspect ratio on that so severe?
I fit it to. I did it to fit screen. It's gonna change in a second there.
Oh, okay.
Or I stretched it to screen. Now I just did it to fit screen. I started with that one, and then I went to that other one that you saw just to get in on some details and all that.
Yes, Ulrich. Dillard did cut, or Cross did cut Dillard off from reading your comment.
Okay, well, Dillard can read your comment then. Sorry.
This is something you got to deal with over here at Cross Comics. Now, if this was my show, I have no problem yelling over everybody, but I got to respect Rick's show, and I got to let him speak when he speaks. Of, importance, it's whenever Rick speaks, everybody has to be quiet. And you would figure with that sort of, power, you would use it responsibly, but... C'est la vie.
Yeah.
Well, Elric was actually trying to tell you that there's a French version of Vader yelling no that is better than the original version.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go look that up right now.
Yeah, whoever did the French dub. There's probably a version for like every, I guess, popularly spoken language.
No! 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 What?
It's awful.
The video Evan made.
No, he made a video?
He took a clip from the vomitorium and turned it into a video.
Am I subscribed to Evan? I think I am. What is his YouTube called?
No, he put it on Twitter.
Oh.
I know he tagged me, he tagged Metal.
Here, let me, I'll actually copy and paste that into
I'm watching it right now.
Cross Comics Warrior chat.
Oh, and if anybody hasn't, I've got a Webtoons now, for those that don't know. I think the link should be in the description of tonight's show. If you want to go check it out, maybe subscribe to it. If you have an account over on Webtoons. Yeah, the link is in the description.
Yeah, that's pretty much the vomitorium.
Okay, I don't think that solved the problem. I can't hear you guys. I'm gonna close out this browser and come back in.
Uh-huh.
Whatever, dog. I'll see you later. So, Rick, what's new with you? Tell me a secret about the metal while he's gone.
I don't know no secrets about Metal.
Ah, he's back already. Be quiet.
I can hear you. Yeah, I lost audio from you guys for some reason. I don't know what happened. I had to close out my browser and come back in.
Oh. I did not. Well, I realized that as you were leaving, but obviously, or sort of obviously, I don't know.
What?
What?
I couldn't hear what you said. Something about obviously.
Oh, I was just saying something about when Metal said he couldn't hear us. Or realized it, as he was leaving when he said something about not being able to hear us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was just saying, it's obvious that I would have heard him say that. Well, I guess it's sort of obvious. Oh, not much sketchbook. I am just trying my best to draw Darth Vader in honor of the actor, David whatever, dying, who played Darth Vader.
Damn it, Rick! Oh, shit. Oh!
He thinks it's funny that I can't remember the name of an actor that died. Jeez, Dylan, you're so insensitive.
I don't think he's the insensitive one here.
Oh, me, because I can't remember the actor's name.
Title of your show, you're doing a drawing in memorial of a guy you don't know his name. And they just told him whatever. This dude just died.
Hey, I said David whatever. I remembered his first name.
Oh, that hurt me so bad.
Even after his death, he's still getting screwed over.
Howard's laughing, saying Cross can't remember 50% of Vader. No, I can't remember 25% of Vader. Seeing as how I remember. I just know it's not James Earl Jones.
I also
Ethan Van Sciver put, I thought I was so clever with Rainbow the Brute Sword Grass Blade until two people showed me an episode of Adventure Time that had a blade of grass that was a sword. Son of a bitch. Okay, pulling that out. I'll rename That show does so many cool things with the whole action adventure themes. It's hard to come up with something new that hasn't been done on Adventure Time or The Simpsons.
Oh, I just ignore Adventure Time.
Why?
Because I don't like it.
You're one of those people that hate for no reason.
No, I mean, I tried to get into it, I couldn't.
Howard says that's like the new guy at work on his first day having to say something nice about the guy you never met who's retired.
Use the guy's name to get some more views on his videos. He can't even be bothered to learn his name. Terrible. Or unless you're actually very upset about his death, right?
Unfortunately, no.
I actually don't agree with my sketchbook there. Even though I think Adventure Time was part of Cartoon Network's downfall, the downfall started before Adventure Time started airing.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all. Now I'm super upset that people don't like Adventure Time the way I like Adventure Time. So guess what I ate last night when I was super starving and I went to go find something to eat?
Oh, what'd you get?
I found another tin, right, of leftover turkey. So, broke it out, kind of separated the stuffing and stuff. Because what happens is my mother-in-law will take the turkey and she'll shred it all up, right? And she won't leave the bird in the actual. Take all the bird apart and just leave the meat in a container. But she does it, but she also leaves all like the stuffing, and so it's all like mixed in together. So I kind of spent some time picking out the stuffing from the turkey and just got that and just put a whole entire stick of butter and just refried that turkey. And then we had a delivery from the babysitter. She also does grocery shopping. And, we had a delivery of a bunch of fresh bolillos. So, like, stuff you make those, what do you call them? What are those wet sandwiches called?
Wet sandwiches.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's like the sandwich turns super soggy if you don't eat it immediately.
Trying to think.
It's almost like a wet burrito that you can't tip the wrong way, or else everything falls out and gets all over your hands and clothes.
Like a mincemeat sandwich, or
sort of. Think of like a sloppy Joe, but even more wet.
Yeah, like when you put mincemeat on a sandwich, yeah.
So there was a bunch of those fresh bread. They just came from the panaderia, so they were like still warm. You know what I mean? They just made that bread, and I was able to take these heaping amounts of turkey, just spread it on there, and put all kinds of Munster cheese all over it, because that's the only cheese we have right now is Munster cheese, and because my wife uses that primarily when she makes her macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, it was delicious. Like, I went to bed like completely satisfied and 100% full, but not like ugly full where you feel like you can't lay down because your stomach hurts, but just like very satisfied. About nothing, Rick. I was complaining that there was no food to eat.
Now let's see. What have we got here?
Oh, they're called tortas, those sandwiches.
Ulrich said his Adventure Time wasn't his cup of tea either, Metal. Sketchbook says the event creator of Adventure Time was bought in all she creates.
Oh, the she creators, like all the modern, postmodern feminist creators and stuff. Oh. Yeah, he was the one that kind of brought them in.
Let's see. Ulrich says, I remember the dark days when Cartoon Network was live action shows. Yeah, that actually happened. Yeah, that makes no sense. Cartoon Network and we have live action TV shows.
That was awful.
Not as Torres says, Sketchbook Manwich, Tortillas Hoagies.
Yes, tortas orgadas is what he's talking about. Yes, that's what it's called.
Drowned sandwich at Dillard.
Well, it was fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, because I don't like like that show that everybody don't like. I tried giving it a shot, because usually when everybody hates something, it's usually because it's popular, and if it's popular for a reason. So I want to give it a shot, you know?
Yeah.
So I tried looking at that Steven Universe, and like I couldn't handle it.
I've never watched
cartoons, even if they're poorly drawn or overly simplistic. If the story gets me into it enough, I'll watch it. I watch Rick and Morty, even though it's poorly,
Oh no, animation style has nothing to do with my opinion on shows.
And my wife's telling me I can't watch those characters because the monitos are ugly. No, oh God. That's what she means by, designed monitos, the dolls,
Yeah. Yeah.
My sketchbook says, never had the orgadas, just regular torts, but I don't care for pan bolillo. Damn! You guys don't like nothing around here.
Hey, pan bolillo, is that a bolillo roll? I know pan is like bread.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like bolillo rolls. They're good.
It takes me a long time. The thing is, my family spoke Spanglish. The only time they ever spoke actual Spanish was when they wanted to keep secrets from me. From around the kids. So I never actually learned Spanish, but there was a lot of words that I don't know the actual English. I didn't know the actual English word for a long time. Like I didn't know the actual word was mattress. Mm-hmm. It was always colchón. That's what I thought it was called.
Yeah. Well, like even me, like at best, I probably speak something close to Spanglish just because living in Texas around a bunch of people who speak Spanish and going to school. But there's a lot of stuff that I just don't know or slaughter when I try.
I understand that, Metal. I feel your pain. I'm picking up a lot of basic stuff now that we're trying to get this kid bilingual, and she's watching all her Spanish and English cartoons. And it's great because they'll do the song, whatever, and then it'll stop, and then it'll say, otra vez, and then they'll say, again, and they go, in English, and they do it in English. It's pretty good. I'm learning words for colors that I never knew, like celeste, which is like light blue. Blew my mind. I was telling you, you kind of do your little regimen of like flashcards with your kid. Like I'll pull out crayons and be like, "What's this color?" And she'll say, "Blue." And then I pulled out a light blue, and she was like, "What's this color?" She's like, "Celeste." And I was like, "No, blue." And my wife had to come and correct me. She's like, "No, that means light blue."
So it's more like a cyan.
Yeah, more like a cellularine.
Yeah. As opposed to azul, which is just like straight up azure.
It's more like a robin's egg blue.
Yeah.
Because there's also another name for that bluish, greenish, tealish, more blue thing. I don't know the name of that though. I'm not bilingual, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I even sharing? Let me stop sharing. Hide this.
Oh, what? You were
Rick's not even sharing when I'm drunk.
I didn't know that you were sharing anything. I can share it.
I think
it's not like or anything.
Of like the primary and secondary colors, the only one I can never remember in Spanish is purple.
It's something with an M, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I can't remember it. And I know all the other ones. I know like rojo, azul, verde,
amarillo. I forget.
Yeah.
Let me go look this up. Purple in Spanish. Oh, I'm still over here.
Only one I can never remember.
French version of Vader.
Morado. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Say that again, Metal. Said sketchbook, but that was before you said Morado.
Elric says, I don't speak Spanish either, Dillard, and half of my family is Mexican. Yeah. And that's the issue, is that I'm Mexican, but I'm not actually like in the culture of Mexican. Because we can't, my grandma on my mom's side, her mom was from Mexico, but nobody else is. We're all kind of like native Californian, native Texan.
Yeah.
Mojado is purple in Spanish. I thought mojado means wet. You see those signs that say piso mojado, like wet floor?
I think tried to put morado twice, but then autocorrect turned it to mojado.
Oh. Rick, I'm a Native American. Did you know that?
No. What is your tribe?
What?
What's your tribe?
Mexican.
I think that is
not those filthy European Spanish people came over here and started raping all of my ancestors.
Yeah, Texas is very riddled with Spanglish.
That was the first time I ever seen a black man driving a truck. It was in Texas.
Rick says, autocorrect is apparently secretly racist. Sketchbook says, all Americans are Native Americans?
He says all Mexicans are Native Americans.
Yeah. Ew. Tough work.
How is that racist? Rick, is that racist that I said that was the first time I ever seen a black man driving a truck was in Texas?
I wouldn't say so.
That just sounds like a statement of fact.
I mean, it's something that the first time that I saw something.
Yeah.
You can't help when you first see something.
Right? It's not my fault that I'm ignorant and I haven't been exposed to different kinds of people.
And how old were you when you were in Texas and you saw this person of another color?
26.
Oh, wow. Where did you live up until then?
Southern California.
Okay, that's weird then. I would think Southern California would have had more black people than that.
Oh, there's a ton over here. Just none of them drive trucks.
Yeah, but you've never seen like any in school or something.
Yeah, I had black kids in my school. That's why I smoked Newports, because all I hung out with when I was a teenager was black people. That's what they smoked, so I wanted to fit in.
So how can you say the first time you saw one was when you...
The first time I saw a black person driving a truck, like a pickup truck, like they owned a pickup
Because nobody
truck.
drives pickup trucks around there.
Oh, okay.
No, everybody does around here. We live in the rural area in Herpa Valley.
Well, I was talking about the black people you were talking about before. Nobody drives pickup trucks.
Yeah, they all drove like, I don't know, regular-ass cars. Civics, Lincoln Continentals. Let's see, Skylar had 2 Honda CRXs.
Okay, see, I mixed up with...
My neighbors were black, too.
I mixed up with...
Yeah, you're racist, Rick. You heard what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, around where I am in Texas, every other person has a pickup truck.
Sketchbook says, because you could never imagine a black man owning a pickup. No, I could imagine it, but I just never seen it. I live right next to where I live. They have this area called Fontana, which is colloquially known as Fontucky, because it's the black community.
Yeah.
And none of them had pickup trucks. They all had just regular cars. See, he says, I had the same reaction when I saw my first black heavy metal fan. Yeah. But you know what they picked up on really quick? Because I had went to this anime expo with my my cousin's daughter. She was like, oh, I really want to go to an animation expo. And I was like, okay, here's the money. And she was like, no, I need somebody to go with me. I was like, oh, shit. So I went to the anime expo in LA, and I seen a lot of black people that were like weebs. And I was like, oh my God.
So this is actually more of a class thing. It's because how cheap manga is, it's very easy to get into. And so a lot of people become anime fans. It's actually how a lot of them get into metal too, because a lot of anime openings have like metal sounding songs.
I get it. My sketchbook says, yeah, my first car was a pickup. A pickup car? What the hell?
His first vehicle, maybe?
It's part of how I got into manga. It's just because how cheap it is.
Let's see here. He says, dang, and the Newport thing, you sound like a character on the Chappelle Show. The what? Oh, right, when they had that reparations skit. He says, this conversation keeps getting more and more of misunderstanding, and it's hilarious. All weaves of color make me laugh. Yeah, I was surprised. And then my boy Skylar got super into it. Like, he was like, first thing he got into was video games. And he's a black dude. And he was like super into video games. We're like, that's kind of weird. for a black dude. And then all of a sudden, like, he got really, really good at it. Like, really good. And then, like, he hit me up and he was like, hey, man, you got to come and check this out. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, I'm on a TV show. For what? He's like, for video games. I was like, what? So we all drove over there to LA. Because he had been in a movie before. He was in that movie. No, his name wasn't Solar. His name was Skylar. And he was in that movie, Jarhead.
Okay.
Because he's always wanted to, he's one of those people that's very, like, bombastic. He very, always wants to go everywhere and do everything. So he's always, like, hanging out and pretending to do people in backgrounds of movies and stuff. He'd be there. And so he was like, oh, that's cool, because we had one of our friends was in that movie. You can see him just for a split second when they're doing the induction. When what's his name, Gyllenhaal first joins the military, and they're kind of giving everybody the rundown in the briefing room or whatever, and he's in the back like rubbing his head.
I'll have to take a look. I got that movie. It's Jarhead or
yeah, he's in the. I don't know what it's called. Jarhead, I think it's called. It was pretty famous when it came out. But then he was on the show called The Tester. And it was for PlayStation.
I know that show. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure which season it was. Let me see. Tester. How many seasons? Oh, it has 3 seasons. Maybe it was the first or the second. SKYLAR. But then I found out that it wasn't even like a real TV show. It was like an internet TV show.
It wasn't even an internet TV show. You could only watch it through the PlayStation.
Yeah, so I was like, you're not famous. Shut up. Oh, yeah, he goes by his handle Sky Diddy. Just his gaming name.
Was he on the same, let me look, season as Ego Raptor? Let me look.
I don't know.
Because Aaron Hansen, a huge internet name, Ego Raptor, was on a season. And because he was a known person, pretty much everybody else ganged up on him to get him kicked out by like the second episode.
Who, Skylar?
No.
Ego
Aaron
Raptor?
Hansen. Yeah, Ego Raptor. Everybody else ganged up on him to get him kicked out.
Lag. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure what I can do about that, guys. That's a unicorn. Never met or heard of that. Only when my black fellow soldiers used to joke about not having overtly white names. Yeah, your name's a dead giveaway. Guessing Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto. And then, of course, looking at this picture, you gotta say, what's the name of it? My Hero Academia.
There you go. There's the link to his intro video for the tester. And he said he's from Fontana, California. That fool lived in Hoopa Valley until he was like 17, and then he moved to Fontana. Idiot. No, but he was really good. He was like, he used to have, at his barbershop, actually, I think he still does it. But he has a barbershop now over there in Rialto called Cut and Play, where you get haircuts and you get you play video games while you're waiting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he used to have competitions like once a month when he was trying really hard to get his social media up there, and he would have like trophies he would give out. But he was really good, especially at the what do you call it? The fighting games, like the Marvel vs. Capcoms or the Street Fighters, those kind of things. That was his forte.
Yeah, we had to be good. He, according to IMDb, he was in 8 episodes, and each season was 9. So that means he made it to the next to last episode before getting eliminated.
Ulrich says the way Cross just said Naruto made my soul dilate.
Naruto.
How did he say it?
Naruto? I don't know.
Ricky.
I don't know how I said it. I said it wrong there, or purpose, or whatever.
But that picture I was showing you before, Rick, about all that, the mural that I was doing in that barbershop, that was his barbershop.
Cool.
Because he wanted the whole back wall to be just a bunch of old like retro video games. So I had like the little sprites. I had to make stencils so I could do sprites of like Ash and Pikachu or Red and Pikachu and that kind of thing. It ended up being pretty cool. But he kept wanting stuff different and then in different styles. Because I started doing everything in very pixelated, you know?
No.
But then he wanted Sweet Tooth on there from Twisted Metal. But he wanted him from Twisted Metal Black, where he looks like almost like a real person, you know? And I was like, well, that's not going to work. He's like, but it'll be tight, though. Just do it. I'm like, I guess. Money's money. Rick, why aren't you talking to me? For God's sake.
I'm letting you share your stories. Jeez. What am I supposed to do? Interrupt you?
Yeah, I put a proper pronunciation in the chat for those that care.
Naruto.
Yes, that's how you pronounce it. It's the fish cake on top of the ramen.
Nah,
that's what he's named.
It's pronounced Naruto.
And his last name, Uzumaki, means spiral.
Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, spiral. Uzumaki.
Oh, is that why he has that spiral on his forehead?
Yep.
Stupid.
Spiral. It's like a double punch.
Oh, and then he's like a super fan because he's like, everybody their first, when they get into anime and stuff, their first love is always either Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon. Super fan of Dragon Ball Z. And then he wanted Dragon Ball Z, but he wanted it like cartoon style. Let me do like a Dragon Ball Z sprite or something, you know? And he's like, nah, like a cartoon. There's no accounting for bad taste. You just got to do it.
Hey, they're paying you. They get to say what they want, how they want it, right?
You can also deny their money.
Well, you can also just say, if anybody asks who did this, don't mention my name.
I don't want this blemish on my reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I have a separate and secret account called NSFW for Life, where I do all my my inappropriate drawings that people commission from.
Oh, he was talking about the headband. No, the spiral is the shoulder patch. Yeah. No, the headband's the leaf design from the village.
Whatever. There's a spiral on him somewhere. I even think his headband does have a spiral on it.
Well, we kind of spirals a bit, but it has absolutely nothing to do with his name.
Let me see. Let me look up a picture of Naruto.
Because anybody who's from the Leaf Village has that design. It has nothing to do with his name being Spiral.
Yep, there's a spiral with a little tiny triangle on it.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
Well, a spiral is a spiral. God, it's getting cold in here. Turn this air off.
Yeah, he's just trying to say, if you, actually, in general, if you see a Japanese word spelled into English, you're pretty safe bet to just pronounce it the way you would in Spanish. And one of the reasons for that is because related language, Portuguese. It was a Portuguese man who was the first one to translate Japanese into a Western language.
All right, I'm back. What did I miss?
Everything.
Yeah, I was explaining to you the pronunciation thing.
Why does Vader look like he's hyped up, like he just roasted someone with the yo mama joke?
I don't know.
Oh, because this is Robot Chicken Vader. That's why.
Yeah, he looks like he's like telling somebody what? He looks like he's gonna be throwing a website.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was a sketch where Luke and the Emperor were doing like yo mama jokes and stuff to each other, and Vader's like there off to the side doing signs like that.
Damn. Cross Comics After Dark. Drawing to the Dark Side with Darth Vader. Drawing to the Dark Side. Nah, you gotta fix that, Rick. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that is perfect for Rick.
Maybe drawing you to the dark side with Darth Vader.
Or drawing on the dark side with Darth Vader. I don't know.
Okay, well, I gotta get going then.
You want to promote the buckler before you leave, or anything?
Yeah. Please back the buckler. I'm putting my heart and soul into it.
It's did
fantastic. It's dynamic. It's Rick. Don't interrupt me. I'm pitching my book here. Go ahead, Rick.
I was just gonna say, did you get all those thumbnails done today?
No, I actually started inking. I made a mistake. I started actually doing real work. But yeah, it's a good book. Go check it out.
Yes, buckle under and go get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
God damn it, Rick.
Buckle under to the pressure.
Right now, right?
Buckle under to the pressure and get it. You know, the peer pressure and getting it. Buckle under to it.
Well, then say that.
Well, trying to make it short and sweet. Jeez. Then you make me have to explain
maybe
it.
Like, come on, next time Rick will talk to me. I have to go.
Okay, later. Yeah, I've obviously got. I'm not going to finish this obviously tonight because we got like 5 minutes left.
Oh man, I didn't even realize how close it was. I'm just like sitting here occasionally looking at the chat, doing math.
Yes, for Saturday or.
I don't even know when you guys are going to end up running into this stuff, to be honest. Because the thing is, I'm trying to make it to where you don't have to do things in order if you don't want to. It's just there's a lot of preparation that's involved, so it helps if I know where you're going to go ahead of time, so I can specifically prepare for where you're going.
And as I said earlier, we don't know where we're going. Till we decide to go. Oh, we're probably going to do.
But I'm kind of focusing on the places that Dillard was somewhat looking at the beginning before you guys decided to spend the whole session fighting monsters that you clearly weren't prepared to be fighting.
And that we were blessed that we beat.
Yeah.
And partially due to the fact that I paid to sleep, that I paid for the suite the night before.
Yeah. Imagine, though, that it took you 1 or 2 more turns to try to kill those things.
Yeah, well, 1 extra turn, 11 turns, so. But yeah. And I actually got hit once in that, and it was a pretty hefty hit. So, I don't think we would have survived long. Without.
And they had a lot of MP left. I literally could have just spent, I was like being generous, I could have spent turns just having them heal each other back to back until they were like at full health.
Yeah, because we probably wouldn't have been hitting them fast enough to make.
Well, like your bird, I told you afterwards, it literally did no damage to those things because it never peeked past its armor.
Yeah. It might have done actually some good if I could have hit it during charging, but.
Yeah, because it does a lot more damage. But it's designed to be easy to miss because it does a lot more damage. It can hit everything, and it can possibly confuse stuff. Easy to miss.
Yeah. That after 1 or 2 times of missing while charging, I'm like, okay, this is futile. But then again, if I would have known the bird was actually futile for
like anything else.
I would have probably actually kept charging and, hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
Because
marsupial. Do you remember those days, Rick?
what? When
he says, remember when Core used to come to all of Rick's streams and I never did? Those were the days.
You mean today? Well, Core Cult of Raven. The Cult of Raven doesn't come here anymore. Then again, the Cult of Raven isn't very active anymore.
Yeah, it barely exists. And there's some people that, former cult members that come here.
Yeah.
But I don't think almost anybody who comes here but me and Dillard are still in the Cult of Raven.
No.
I don't know, maybe Eagle still counts. Discord.
He says, I mean, back when I used to ask in the Discord on a regular basis, who is Rick? Hey, Kodiak! Hey, Kodiak! How are you? Well, my Vader...
I used to ask that too.
My Vader is not quite finished, as people can plainly see. I don't think so. Well, don't worry about not staying long, Arthur. We're shutting down. No offense, but that's a pretty derpy Vader. I'm not sure what you mean by derpy, but I'll agree. I'll agree. I know the head is completely off. The cult of Raven came and Marsupial did. Oh, because of Dillard and Metal.
Yeah.
What about Evan?
I think I've done it before too. I found you through the Cult of Raven. Like everybody was talking about your streams in the chat, and like, who is this Rick guy? So I clicked on one of them once, like, oh, okay. You came 2 hours late to a 2-hour program.
No, you came an hour and 58 minutes late to a 2-hour program. Or did you come 2 minutes? Would that be late or just in time? Something like that.
Yeah. Hey, Marsupial, real quick before we end it, did you like Evan's video?
Exactly. Cult of Raven used to talk about you all the time. Yeah, the Cult of Raven did help me finally win. What's the name? After a year of well, I didn't participate every week. I gave up after a couple months.
But you won drawn and quarter because of the cult.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I gotta get them to come. We gotta recruit them again so I can win again. But that's...
It's like the Blues Brothers. We're getting the band back together.
But that should be for when I go on for near my campaign or just after starting my campaign.
Oh, see, Rick, you're trying to schedule things with these people. You're already asking for too much.
Yeah. Well, they also got Booster on too eventually, or before me actually. But
Booster's technically in the cult though.
Yeah. Are we on a mission from Trigon? We're getting the cult back together. But anyways, it is that time again, people. This could be too easy to, keep going on and on, my friend. It could be the stream that never ever ends. Okay, maybe not.
No, I think YouTube cuts you off after, like, what is it?
It's not 8 hours.
Or something like that. No, it's like 140 hours. They just cut you off.
100 and what?
40 or something like that. Like, it'll stop archiving after a certain point before that, but there is like a hard hour mark where they'll cut off a stream.
Well,
just all these ones that play these 24 hours loop have it like a bot set up that as soon as the stream cuts off, it just starts it back up on the next one.
Rick, you need to convince the detective squad to rejoin. I would join a cult led by Dillard. He would drink the actual Kool-Aid. Whoever else would drink the specialty. YouTube decided to just keep going with my stream yesterday after I ended it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I tried to tell you that in the vomitorium too, Marsupial. It kept going, but it stopped when you ended.
The last 5 seconds. Yeah.
But okay, yeah. You want to promote anything there?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by. Sorry for my weak Vader. I will hopefully finish it up in a couple days or whatever off stream, or maybe I'll film myself doing it. I'm going to be, of course, I've got videos that are launching every night at about 11:45 till the weekend. We're going to be hopefully having some neat videos launching over the weekend. Hopefully 4 of them this weekend and then maybe 3 next weekend. So keep a lookout for them. If you're on Webtoons, go check out my Webtoon channel and subscribe and check out what I did. And we'll catch you all. And oh yeah, thanks to Dillard and Metal for coming on and talking. And thanks for everybody in the chat for coming out and talking in the chat as well. It's been great having you all here. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully at noon. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day.